Hey everybody, welcome back to Read 'em and Weeb. This is episode 4 of Toradora. We are going over volume 4 of the manga. If you are coming here for the first time, this is not an alternative for the source material. We are not going to be going over important story beats. This is just a discussion and review of the book. So,
Our genuine opinions, and they're always right.
yeah. So go read it, watch it, whatever, come back, and yeah. Whatever.
You like the material, support the material.
Yeah, all right. Intro time. Welcome to Reeb and Weeb. So we're reading Toradora again. Weird how we...
Let's talk about the best part first.
Do we want to?
I'm gonna.
Okay.
The best part is Taiga's new hairstyle. I like when she does the little balls on her head. It's my favorite. They showed it in volume 2 at the end, as like a little just splash page. But they have her. When she's swimming, she does the two little balls, and it's my favorite. Anyway, let's talk about all the bad parts.
Yeah, I didn't care for this volume. Okay. So...
Oh, I gotta get the bird of the bag first. The bird's fine.
Oh, yeah, the bird's fine.
The bird is like, so it seemed way more dramatic to me at the end of the volume. I was like, what? Because there's like a to be continued on the bottom.
Yeah, well, like what's going to happen with this bird?
Yeah, bird's fine.
Fine. In fact, we don't find out it's fine until like way later.
Yeah, Ryuji just wakes up from a nightmare at the beginning of this or something. And the bird's literally like taking care of the house while he's gone in one of the pages. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no. What's so jarring about this is that, so in the first episode we were like, oh, they don't sexualize the children, like the teenage characters, and it was like cool, because if they're going to do it, at least it's with an adult. That was like the bare minimum,
Yeah.
and that's what we talked about. But now they're not doing that, and granted, there are a few like lines here and there to be like, I'm 18, I don't care.
I mean, I care if they're 18 or not.
It is important. However,
Yes.
I'd rather they not do it at all.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a discussion to be had on whether or not, well, okay, from where I'm coming from, having stories involving teenagers that revolve around sex and sexuality and discovering what you like, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I have a problem is when you do it when you're sexualizing these underage characters or characters that are in high school. Like, I think that's
my problem
weird.
when it's not for the story, it's for the fan service.
Yeah, it doesn't serve anything.
Yeah.
Like, I get that the boys in the story are like, they're the ones looking at it and they're the ones reacting to it. But I think there are ways
the mangaka's the one who's drawing it.
Exactly. But I think there are ways to do that without,
Being horny.
yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, like some of these panels are just like people's chest shots. There's that one shot of like a girl's bare back, and I'm like, why'd you gotta do this?
Yeah.
This literal like shot of Taiga's fake boobs,
Mm.
and I'm like, why? I'm ashamed to open this sometimes.
Because there are some panels where it's like, okay, because the subject matter requires at least some sort of visual.
Yeah,
I understand that, because the whole purpose of this volume has been like Taiga and her body issues,
right.
and I think that's an important, that's an important thing to talk about. But they're not going about it. Granted, I get it. It's like a coming of age romance comedy manga
Meant for high schoolers.
meant for high schoolers.
Probably a little bit younger too.
But because of that, I think it's a little unhealthy to make her solution to like make fake boobs for herself rather than just like her body.
Yeah,
You
and I
know?
thought they were gonna resolve that in that. I was like, okay, at least they'll resolve that. They didn't.
No. In fact, it's really never, they don't,
They have yet to
allude-
readdress it.
yeah, they don't allude to that being the takeaway. And it's like, I understand that kids would feel that type of way when they're in that age,
Yeah.
Like body dysmorphia is like a very real thing. And I think it's unfortunate that that's where the story was going, and that, drawing these kids in like very, because I use the word kids, and I know a lot of people are going to kind of be upset with that terminology. They're minors, but to me, I still would say these are children.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially mentally, clearly.
yeah,
Motherfuckers never talk to another human being in their fucking life.
yeah, and so it's I think it's worth criticizing to be
Oh,
like, hey,
absolutely.
maybe don't draw these kids looking like that. But again, if you want to touch on these themes of like, body dysmorphia, a teenager's reaction to not only their bodies changing, but like the other, gender's body changing and how they react to that. That's important. And I think it's okay to like let, kids these age, like teenagers know like, hey, what you're feeling is like perfectly normal. Just don't be like weird about it. Like there are healthy ways. Cause like the kids are like, and we'll dive, cause it feels like the next 3 volumes are really diving into like how the teenagers like perceive each other.
Right.
Um, and so I don't think it's just, I think it's just not healthy to do it in a way that's like almost leaning into these unhealthy, habits.
Right. I hope that they're doing this just to show how it's bad, like how it's unhealthy.
Mm.
And they don't want to be like, this is bad, here's how to fix it in a single volume. They want to be like, hey, some people are like this. They want to like dive more deeply into it, show different aspects of it before they're like, this isn't the right way. Here's Taiga healthily, or probably not healthily, let's admit it's Taiga, confronting it.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. Hopefully. Unfortunately, judging from the way this continues, I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, I
want to talk about a specific part about this. So we haven't explained this. Ryuji sews pads into Taiga's swimsuit because she's flat. She's completely flat or whatever.
Yeah.
And not only is that weird to have like your male friend do this, I feel like people would just notice.
Especially like,
Your female friends who have probably seen you change?
that, but also just like people in your class, like like kids are perceptive, but also again, they're teenagers. Like they're going to think like, oh yeah, this will definitely work. I think my problem is that like, it's that they don't lean into the consequence of this, at least yet.
The biggest consequence that happens is one of them falls out while she's swimming, and she's drowning, mind you. And Ryuji's like, not only do I have to save her, I have to get this pad back in her fucking whatchamacallit before she but she can't do it herself because she's drowning.
Mm-hmm.
So while she's drowning, he just stuffs it back in himself, and I was like, what a weird way to handle this.
Yeah. Yeah, and like it's played for
the bit.
It's played for the bit, but again, it's like, I mean, regardless that his intentions were not to feel her up,
Yeah. That's the part I do prefer. She's not upset at him for feeling her up like she would normally be. She understands exactly why he did it. She's mad at Amy for the whole situation. Obviously, because she throws her into the pool. Sorry, this manga's kind of a blur.
I think regardless, like that almost feels like another con to me. Is like,
oh yeah.
Like she's not upset that he did that. She understands his reasoning, but also like, I think regardless, there's no good reason to like touch another person without giving them the heads up.
Yeah, me dying. David, are you sure? Can I put my lips on yours? David, I'm not. I don't need mouth to mouth. Yeah, but like, just in case, like, David, there's a stab wound. So do you want me to like?
Dude, if you're drowning and I grab you by the cock, you're gonna be like, "Hey, brother, this is not the time."
I'd be like, stupid. I'm drowning.
It's like first I'm drowning and now I'm gonna come. Like you need to stop.
The joke here is I have a bad swimmer.
Yeah.
I had an ex who was a lifeguard at our high school, and we not at our high school, but she was at our high school while also being a lifeguard for younger kids. And we had a pool thing for I think senior year, maybe senior year. And while we were swimming together at the pool, she looked at me. She was like, Esau. I almost censored my own name. I look at you swim, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I'm a lifeguard. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And she's like, you're the kind of people we look out for, people who are going to drown. And I went, thanks, friend.
Is that a threat?
Because I cannot swim very well over water. I can swim like very well under the water. I'm like very good at maneuvering, very good at kicking myself back up. Keeping my head over the water is difficult for me. I'm not like Tyga though. If you put me in the water, I can get from point A to point B under the water perfectly fine. I just can't, stay afloat.
I find it easier to swim underwater.
Same. It's because we're big.
Yeah. No, what's so funny, right? So I'm gonna bring up comments again. We talked about like the comments, commenting on like telling me I'm fat and all that. But it's also like really funny when comments just make no fucking sense. So I put out our video talking about it was Pokemon episode 5, and we were talking about like, hey, like, because at that time we didn't know Yellow was a girl. Spoiler, sorry.
Oops.
We didn't know Yellow's gender at the time, and we were like, yeah, I think it's really cool that like it's a little up in the air because you can, any kid can feel represented. And then somebody commented, and YouTube like hid the comment, so I had to go into the YouTube studio to see it. He's like, you guys are the reason that women cheat. We're talking about kids. We're talking about kids right now. You stupid fuck.
I am the reason why women cheat. They see me and they can't help but cheat on their significant other because I'm so hot.
That's really funny. Because like I did not think about reading the comment that way. He accidentally. He's a dumbass.
Yeah, or he's a big fan.
I regret telling him to kill himself. I doxed him. Damn. That's so funny.
Thank you.
I did not even consider that. You stupid fuck. I hope. Let me make sure.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Let me make sure that the comment wasn't like actually nice, because I know it wasn't.
And it's just like heart eyes, the water spout, the moaning face. David's like, wow, this guy's a dick.
I love you guys so much, dude. Quit bullying me. You're fucking weird, bro.
What's up, Stubby? Nice folder. They hated me.
Goob, yeah.
Goob, that's his name.
Oh, fuck, man.
Stubby.
Not fucking Stubby, bro.
Why is your little skibbity toilet man still on the floor?
What's skibbity toilet man? What
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
He's right there.
Oh, fucking Tutter the rat.
Yeah, and he's still there on the floor where he's been since your desk was on this side.
Okay, whatever, bro. Like, it wasn't skibbity toilet.
Yeah, and there's also a Dragon Ball over there. I found the last one.
Thanks, man. Where the fuck is there? You are why women cheat is the comment.
Thanks.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it like that. That's so funny.
You know me.
Stupid fuck. Oh, man. I can't wait for fucking a month and a half so I can post this TikTok.
Just clip it out immediately. Like, oh, fuck. I'd say reply to him, but that doesn't really work.
Yeah, it doesn't work on YouTube, but I'll screenshot it, though.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Oh.
Sorry, we were not a fan of this volume at all.
We really weren't.
So this is what put my brain nerves on end when I was reading it the first time. For those who don't remember, I actually had picked this up before and dropped it. I'd gotten through partway of volume 5. I actually pinpointed vaguely where I was before I dropped it. This is probably the reason why I was so willing to drop it, is this volume was not to my liking. Oh, there's the eye boobies. Sorry. I don't know why my brain went to go look for it again. I do know. They were boobies. The issue with that is this volume feels really like one thing happened the whole time. And it's Tyga can't swim. Tyga doesn't like her body.
I was waiting for her to I was waiting for the story to just fucking move on.
It felt like a filler episode.
But a volume.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I just wanted it to end. It's just like, because my thing is like, one, I don't know. It's uncomfortable, I think, because they're minors.
And just to be fair, it's okay for something to be uncomfortable. I just feel like there needs to be more of a purpose to it.
I think it comes down with like intent doesn't matter if the way you go about it is flawed. Because you'll have that movie. Remember when Cuties came out?
Nope.
It was like a few years back.
Oh, that was that movie you told me you really liked, right?
No, you're thinking of Gurren Lagann the movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We haven't seen it yet. Don't lie to
yourself. Cuties.
Oh yeah.
Is a different movie.
Those are the oranges, tangerines.
Yeah. Those are good.
Yeah, that's right. You were telling me you liked the tangerines.
Yeah. The movie, however,
sorry.
Favorite. I can't say that. I can't say that. I thought we were, being pals right now.
Yeah. You looked me in the eye being like, I'm going to say it's on camera.
You saw the glimmer in my eye. So
a teacher.
When Cuties came out, there was a whole big thing about like, one, because it was about, I didn't watch it from what I understand. It's about the exploitation and sexualization of minors in like
media
in media, and also like the whole thing was like they're dancing in front of people. I think it was like a pageant or something. I didn't watch it. I refused to watch it.
It was very anti-pageants, right? Probably.
From what I understand, yeah. But regardless, that doesn't matter if you're sexualizing the children in the movie.
Look at how bad sexualizing children is bad. I made a whole movie doing it just to show you how bad it was.
My name Cletus, and I'm gonna fuck this dog to show you how gross it is. I got AIDS, so you don't have to.
It's like Jesus committing all the sins to protect us from them.
Yeah. Except not. Because like I think we could the people forgive Jesus?
Yeah, they probably would.
They probably would, yeah.
But they shouldn't. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Jesus did not commit all the sins to protect us. He absolved us of ours.
Yeah.
Sorry, this isn't a religious podcast. Neither are we religious.
But no, we're not religious. But like, we're not gonna lie. I'm not gonna accuse Jesus of doing stuff.
Yeah, I would never. Like Jesus is like so story time. I took a New Testament class. It was a great class. The professor was really great about teaching and everything. It was my English requirement. I just chose specifically New Testament because I thought it'd be interesting, and it was. For all my notes, I referred to Jesus as J-Dog.
We're just chill like that.
Yeah, we're homies, dude.
And Jesus,
the J-Dog.
From my understanding, Jesus is supposed to be super chill. He'd be like super into that.
Yeah, my favorite part is when the taxmen were like, fine, then give us our tax money. And everyone's like, are you going to subvert yourself to the king? And he pulls out, like, he looks at the money. He's like, well, the king's face is on it. Return it to the king. You think I give a shit? Here are my fucking taxes, brother.
Jesus paid his taxes.
Yeah.
I paid sales tax for the first time for my company.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The process. So, because you had to collect sales tax as a business when you sell stuff. And so,
you collect it and then you pay it to the government. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I had to do that. But the process for doing so is very tedious. Here's a business lesson for anyone who wants to know. In California, at least, when you pay your sales tax, you have to pay it by district. And so I had to calculate for example, let's say Fresno. I had to calculate every sale that I made in Fresno, and then enter it into the system, and it told me how much I got to pay for that. Then I had to enter like every other, county, city. I had to do all of that for every sale that I've made in chunks. And so that also means I have to, sort through California purchases because you have to pay every state individually.
There's probably a system. People probably automate this.
There are ways to do it, but the problem is that they're more expensive than what I'm able to afford.
Just program it yourself.
I could do that. If I was better at coding. And luckily the only sales I made out of state didn't qualify to pay the sales tax. So it was just easy. I had to do California. Did that all yesterday. But it's a whole thing. And I'm like, man, why can't they just make it easier? Why can't I just pay it like I should be able to just give the government like, hey, these are my transactions. Can you just tell me what I owe?
Bro, the fucking government should just take the sales tax on an online purchase. It should just be sent to their bank account.
That's what I'm saying. And because it was annoying. Like, it took me like a whole hour and a half.
That's pretty annoying. That's like, you could have read the 3 volumes of Toradora in that time if you were good at reading.
It would have been faster had I known how to do it going in. No idea how to do it. Had to learn how to do it. Did it, and then confirm that it was correct. Luckily, when I'm doing it, it tells you like out of your purchases how much you have left to like input.
Right.
And so once you're zeroed out, you've done it, and it'll tell you how much you owe. Which the sales tax wasn't that bad, so I paid it, but very annoying. Not a fan.
Speaking of not a fan, let's go back to the manga.
Yeah, it's been my business podcast.
So, I lied about the haircut thing, the hairstyle thing. There is actually one other interesting part of this. So Ryuji and not Toradora, Taiga get into a fight, because she doesn't know how to swim. She challenges Amy to a race or whatever. For Ryuji's summer, they're like betting his summer on this.
Yeah,
which is like weird.
Yeah, he just doesn't stand up for himself. And he brings that up. He's like, I can just say no.
Yeah. And he doesn't.
Yeah, it's weird. I think what's interesting is, at the end, there's like parts where I'm like, okay, finally, some story. You know?
Yeah.
I will say, though, during the race itself, when the race starts, it's almost funny.
Yeah.
And I almost like that part.
I laughed when she throws everything she has at Amy.
Yeah, and I thought that's really funny, and then it lost me right away.
Yeah. So, yeah, immediately what you're talking about when her fucking bathing suit comes off? Mm. Okay, yeah, which is 10 seconds into it.
And my thing is, like, one, I don't care if she's 8. Like, my problem is still there if she's
You should have finished that sentence, brother. I don't care if she's 8.
Here's my thing. I'm trying to phrase it right.
Yeah.
The problem is still there, whether or not she's a minor
high schoolers.
or a yeah.
These are high schoolers, no matter which way, shape, or form you say.
My problem is still there.
Anyway, so the problem for me is, one, this race seems to be weird. First of all, they have all the guys ogling her because she lost her bathing suit. So all the boys rush into the pool to help. And then Taiga, despite having a kickboard, loses it and is fucking drowning. No one notices. Problem one. Except for Ryuji. Ryuji's like, I should probably like not help you. And so he gives her the kickboard and everything. Sorry, I am going to summarize it just because it is very important. And then she just goes to finish the race. And while she goes, Ryuji just gets elbowed in the temple and knocked the fuck out. So she goes to help him, drowning. And no one notices she's yelling for someone to help him, but she's drowning because she can't swim and she only has a kickboard. So she pulls him to the finish line, and everyone's like, oh, hey, they're both drowning. And this is where the most interesting part of this entire manga happens, where, and I quote, so he's finally gaining consciousness. She's worried about him. Stupid, all of you. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Get away. Don't get anywhere near him. You can't have him. He's mine. You hear me? Ryuji's mine. Stay away, stay away, stay away. And I'm not going to lie, this is like a really cute panel. The panel work here is cute. Girls crying in manga is my weakness. It makes me cry every time. Every time I see someone crying in a manga, it makes me want to cry. I hate One Piece for doing this.
I'm sorry, just girls crying is my favorite thing.
That's not what I said. I said it was my weakness. Women. It's my weakness, is right. What I said, you weirdo.
Esau hates women.
Anyway, so it's such a weird... This is one of the reasons why I dropped it. I was like, oh, she's realizing her like weird feelings, but she doesn't. She goes right back to
feelings like 4 times.
Yeah, she goes back to not only is he a dog, he's my dog, and I went, oh, come on.
I just don't like her. Is my thing.
I like Taiga.
I don't.
I like Taiga. The tsundere archetype is one of my personal favorites. I like my favorite tsundere is Kurisu from Makise Kurisu from Steins Gate. Just because her character is really interesting, it's really diverse. She's also an intelligent character. She's not very sexualized at all, except in the movie where they just have her in a t-shirt and they show her cleavage and butt for no reason in one scene.
My thing is like...
That might be in the regular show. I don't remember.
I understand that, she has... The way she is there are reasons behind it.
Hopefully. We're gonna find out.
We go into it later, but My problem is still the fact that she's still pretty awful, and I think regardless of
She's not a
like,
good person.
your upbringing, like you being awful to people, regardless is like I'll feel sympathy for you, but I still won't like you, you know, because like she, it's like she's not good for him, and then in the same vein, he's enabling her, and so my problems keep coming back to like they need to like either something needs to happen where they just don't talk, or
They need to address these issues.
they need to have a conversation. And that's the problem, is that they don't communicate, because when they do communicate, they're yelling at each other.
Tell me that's a problem. We haven't got to volume 6, brother. Don't worry about it. God,
Yeah.
volume 6.
I go back to like finding it interesting after this volume.
Oh no, I like it.
Yeah,
But
like frustration.
the problems there are easily solved with a couple of conversations.
Yeah, and that's like it bugs me. But when you have two stubborn people, I get it. Me being frustrated with
3.
the character is not indicative of like it being bad.
Yeah.
Because I think it's good when I'm frustrated with these characters and like I want, you know, things to keep going. I want to see what's going to happen. What I do hate is when characters are presented to be like it's almost like the story hasn't gone into why they're a problem. And I feel like we're so far in, it's like I'm seeing why they're a problem, but I wish the story would address it. You know? You don't have to make them, you know,
better immediately, but you should have people notice that more often, point it out more.
yeah.
In my opinion, though, I feel like that's the draw for me. I know they're problematic because I am an avid reader. I don't need the story to be like, and they were problematic.
No, I don't need the story to like, you know, tell us point blank, but I think the story is framed in a way that it's not conveying, because again, these are for younger people.
Yeah.
It's not conveying to a younger reader that these problems are there.
Fucking ghost.
Damn ghosts. Boo.
Boo.
Damn ghost.
Anyway, for me, I understand that issue, like, hey, it's for a younger reader, but the thing is, it's not a volume that, like, it's not a single volume story. It is a multi-volume series where problems get fleshed out at the very least and get addressed, and hopefully in a way that makes sense.
And I agree with you, but we've just gotten, again, we don't know what the story's end goal is at this point.
Yeah.
We are now 6 volumes in. We're reading volume 4, but we are 6 volumes in. And I feel like these problems have yet to...
Here's the thing. We're getting close. We have to be. You read that volume the same way I did.
If we get to volume 9, and I feel like my problems are still there...
If you get to volume 9?
If I get to volume 9, and those problems are still there, I'm gonna lose my shit. Because it feels like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And I understand, like... And again, these are not reasons why I dislike the story for any reason.
Right.
I just get frustrated reading it, and I'm like, fuck, can we just get fucking...
I would disagree with you like I normally do, but I dropped the book for this exact reason.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Again, it's not bad. It's just when I'm reading it, I'm like, fuck, man. Like,
Yeah.
can we...
Yeah.
I don't know.
And to double up on this problem, so Ryuji's freedom has been stolen by Amy. So what do? Well... Taiga's just going to go with them. Why? Because Taiga can't take care of herself, and everyone just accepts that.
They're like, yeah, you're right, you can't.
And she's like, there's no one there to take care of me. My sister in Christ, take care of your goddamn self. Sorry about that.
But it's also like, she's like, I don't have parents, so where am I going to stay? You can also just stay with his mom.
No, she can't, as demonstrated.
But like, someone could have
That mom should be arrested. She flashed a minor.
She did do that, yeah.
Her eyes turned into titties. That was so funny. Sorry, that's a gag that is so weirdly that it comes up, but it's happened twice in mangas we've read.
Yeah, that has happened twice.
Yeah. In Pokemon of all things, and this one.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in Pokemon.
Yeah, when what?
Yamcha.
Yeah, it did.
Don't lie. You can't fool me.
Gaslight you.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude, you did.
I've read all the manga we're reading multiple times. You can't fool me.
Yeah, I'll hit you with something you haven't read eventually.
No, you won't.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
If we do like a one-off of like something new,
Right.
I feel like it'd be interesting, but also it sucks because we can't like make multiple episodes of it. Like, I would love to start Sakamoto Days for the podcast, but it's like still
It's
fresh.
still being fresh, yeah.
So it's like it's hard for us to do that.
Not only that, I've also been picking up the manga as they come out.
I've only read the first volume, but it's so good.
Sakamoto Days is so fucking fun, dude. I got up to volume 3. I had 2, and then we went to Barnes and Noble. I told him before, I was like, I can't really spend any money. And he's like, want to go to Barnes and Noble? I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I bought $60 worth of manga, you know.
Yeah, no, same. What's it called? Sakamoto Days is just so good though. From the first volume, I was hooked. First chapter, I text Esau, dude, this is sick. This rips.
It was really funny. We brought it up. He's like, oh, have you heard of Sakamoto Days? I was like, yeah, I saw it. Apparently, it's like a very fun, cool action comedy. And then I picked it up and I went, this shit's gas.
No, it was sick.
I texted him about it. He didn't reply because he doesn't usually reply when I talk about manga. Funnily enough.
Yeah.
He nods to himself. He goes, okay. And so I picked up the second volume, and then David went to Barnes and got his first volume. He was like, fuck, he's right.
No, because like I had heard about it too.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm so excited to like read this. No, it's so funny. You told me about manga, and like I will read it. I'll agree with you or have my opinions, and I always just bring it up in person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to carry piggyback off of what you texted me 3 months ago. No, okay. Esau's been sending me fucking TikToks about this guy who's training for a badminton tournament. It's so fucking funny.
So he's like powerlifting. My favorite ones is where he does like fucking skateboard tricks while holding a fuck ton of weights.
It's so dangerous.
It's so dangerous. It's comedic though, especially the comments that are always like, looks like he's training for a junior badminton tournament, or man, training's got a lot lighter since I've been playing.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, fuck, that's
because it's so funny because one, the training is so ridiculous, but like if you've played badminton, it's even funnier.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know me, which is most of you, and even those of you guys who do, you probably don't know this. I actually broke my ankle playing badminton.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, in middle school, I was playing and I fucking rolled and snapped my ankle while playing badminton.
Dude, in middle school, I found out I was sick at badminton.
Yeah, I found out I was actually pretty good. I was playing with a friend of ours while we were and I'm on the floor with my broken ankle. They're still passing to me, and I'm like on the floor hitting that shit, and I was like, "Well, we're winning." And then when we got our point, I was like, "I can't like put any pressure on this." And they were like, "Oh, that's weird. Let's take They had someone in a cart bring me, and then they were like, "Yeah, you know, you're probably fine." And I was like, "All right, I'm probably fine." Go to the doctor. The doctor's like, "Yes, it's broken."
You weren't playing badminton, were you?
Did you do your skateboard weight training? No?
Did you just play without warming up? Here, and he gives you like a training regimen, and it's that guy from the TikTok.
Every page is just him.
Step 1, put on fucking 500 pounds of weights on your shoulder. Step 2, get on skateboard. 3, kickflip.
I can't do that. Bro, that's the basics.
Yeah. Dude, what's so funny is like, finding, because badminton's so fun. I actually,
Is it?
I think it's really fun.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I did not play after that, obviously.
I wouldn't either. No, I messed up my wrist playing pickleball. Because we were playing and the game was getting fucking intense. Like we're and then this is in middle school as well. And so we're playing, and then I just like I hit the ball and I eat shit and I land on my wrist. And then I had to go to the doctor. This actually happened when we were in a percussion class together. I don't know if you remember this.
Vaguely.
But I had my left wrist like wrapped up. Sorry, it was my right one. And so our instructor, I was like, "Hey, I can't hold the mallet anymore." Stuck the mallet
into your
in my thing, and I had to hit like this.
It was very comedic.
Yeah, and I still hit that shit though.
Mainly because our parts weren't that hard in retrospect, but yeah.
Not in retrospect, but for someone, I couldn't read music.
Yeah. You don't need to read music. You just gotta hit thing with mallet.
No, I literally used my ears because I had like a part that was like a motif of like everyone else's, and so I listened to everyone else was playing, and I learned it by ear.
I can read music.
I can now, but at the time I couldn't. I didn't learn how to read music until I was like a junior in high school.
It'd be really funny, like something like Your Lie in April. They have like all the music, like you're like, oh, this, wow, ooh, that sounds great. Because they have to write out the music in like staff, so just a couple pages are just lines of music. Hey, this plays here, 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 and here. So you have to keep going back to the page to listen to it. Sorry, it's really funny in my brain.
Yeah.
Anyway, Toradora. Any other comments on this? They go to the beach, by the way. This is a beach episode.
Is it in this volume?
Yeah, they get to the beach.
Where does it end?
At the beach when they get there.
Oh, okay.
And then there's that weird bonus chapter, incredibly weird bonus chapter.
Can I be super real? Didn't read it.
I'm glad you didn't.
Because I was like, I got to the bonus chapter and I was like, I have 2 more volumes to read. I don't give a fuck about this bonus chapter.
So the bonus chapter is they're playing some game and the loser has to ask every girl what color their underwear are. And the guy who wins is the president, the guy with the glasses, the guy that Tyga likes.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes and asks everybody and everyone's kind of just cool with it.
No, because they're cool with that guy. That's like a real life lesson for you teenagers out there. If you're fucking weird and like no one likes you, you can't get away with the shit that someone with charisma can.
Yeah. And then he asks Minori and he goes, so the whole joke is he asks her and he's like, you don't have to, you can just say your favorite color or whatever. And she goes, my favorite color, clear. And I went, first of all, what? Not even a color.
Not a color.
And everyone thinks she's responding to the underwear thing. So like, you're not wearing underwear? And he's like, oh, clear underwear. I respect it. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Well, and by everyone, I mean, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, to some extent, you know, kids.
Yeah. End
like,
statement.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, teenagers do this, you know? And so, as long as they're like talking about it and not showing it, then I'm like, whatever. But if they're talking about it and like that's how they joke around, I'm like, yeah.
These are my underwear. Ha.
Yeah, as long as they're not showing like ass shots of like the schoolgirls, then I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
You know?
You want shit like that, just go read Dress Up Darling or some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I brought those volumes you asked for.
I was about to say, I was like, oh, I actually got to go pick up my Barnes and Noble.
We told that story, right? How you got there and it was wrapped up and you were like, I probably don't want this.
No, yeah, because I hear good things about it.
You shouldn't.
I hear great things about it. And so I'm like, oh, My Dress Up Darling, I've heard of that before. And so I go to pick it up. It's wrapped and it says explicit content. And I said, what the fuck is this about?
There's a content warning printed like on the manga says a content advisory warning on it.
Yeah. But this was fine. And what's so funny is I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need this.
You don't.
Yeah. Unless the fans want us to do it.
If the fans want us, they want us.
Yeah.
But after all the stuff we have planned.
Yeah. Like,
and don't forget
Chainsaw Man.
I'd rather do Dress Up Darling.
I have no opinions. I've never read it.
Yeah, I never read either of them, man.
What's it called? There's some series where I'm like, oh, that's gonna be so fun to talk about, and then I think about logistically how long those series are gonna be.
Naruto, it's Naruto.
Naruto specifically.
It's Roger. It's Roger.
that is me.
Yeah.
Every time I was like, fuck, it's Roger. It's gonna be Roger. No, because there's genuine parts where I'm like, oh man, we would have so much to say.
We do. We still have shit to say.
Yeah, and we're not even reading it right now.
Yeah.
That's a story I'm so excited.
Sometimes I get like 4 volumes into Naruto and I'm like, this part is dumb. I just messaged David about it.
I am gonna hold off. You know, we had planned on when we were gonna do Naruto.
Did we? Yes, we did.
Kind of very loosely. I'm gonna change that.
Okay.
I'll be open to do it once we hit 1,000 subs.
Okay.
That's when I'm like, okay, let's do it. Because that was the goal for myself for this year. I want to hit 1,000 subs, and so I won't touch my favorite manga until we get there.
All right.
And then Berserk is the million, baby.
Yeah, because those manga are fucking chonky.
They're fucking chonky, and like I know
the plot is complex. David's gonna have a lot of trouble reading it.
What is this? I hear Claymore's good.
I hear Claymore's great as well. I was going to pick it up on eBay actually the other day.
Me too, actually. I was looking at it on eBay because it popped up when I typed up Prince of Tennis.
I just look up manga set English and then I just scroll for a while. I actually bought something. I don't even remember what it is, but it was like $30, free shipping for 4 volumes of manga, and I was like, that's a deal. Yeah. didn't look up what it was. The cover didn't look offensive, and I went, it's a deal.
Oh, my Dress Up Darling alternate cover. Fuck.
No, those would be offensive.
It didn't look offensive. It got you.
Yeah.
The gliding.
But those covers would be. I've read Dress Up Darling.
Yeah. Man, just so, because I'll see them wrapped up. I'm like, damn, at the Barnes and Noble. That's
Why
crazy.
is the mom on the cover of this?
Because it's about boobs.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I take it back.
Yeah, I thought that was random as fuck too.
So the mom, you guys can see it on the main camera, but on what's called the mom's there, and her boobs are like clearly the main important part.
Yeah, so I guess we'll talk about the book again. I don't know. For me, this episode's been really tough because
we're not women. We don't have boobs.
Yeah,
but we do experience bits of like we get it.
Yeah, like when I was in high school, that's like partly. I don't know. I was kind of a late bloomer in that regard. I mainly cared about Naruto and but before I gave a fuck about girls, I was like Naruto, Dragon Ball, and then maybe like my junior year, I was like, oh, boobs are sick, you know. What's it called? What? Fuck it. But I get. I can go back to that time and understand, you know, the perspective of like that being what was on my mind. However, there are ways to tell these stories without, you know,
having Ryuji grope Taiga.
Yeah. And then she also groped his mom.
Several times.
She's
just messing with her boobs the whole time.
And like, I don't know, because like girls, I don't know. Maybe for girls it's different. But even like the mom was like, hey, you're touching me a lot. It was good. And then was like, story happens. We're not thinking about this anymore. And then the mom comes into the room, and then it's almost like he knew it was gonna happen. Like Ryuji just leaves, and so the mom's like,
"Well, she's leaving. She's leaving to go cook."
Yeah, but she's coming in. He just dipped. He's like, she's like, "Oh, you've been looking at my boobs a lot or touching my boobs. I'm just gonna show you."
He's like, "I thought about it a lot, and I'm just gonna show you my boobs." And Taiga goes, "What?" And then her eyes become boobs.
Yeah, which granted was pretty funny.
It got me. I laughed.
It was pretty funny. Weird that she did that.
Yeah,
for sure. But compared to the rest of what the fuck this book had, I laughed.
I needed something to laugh at.
Yeah. Besides her throwing the shit at her.
Yeah.
Ended at that panel, amazing.
But it didn't.
Yeah, but it kept going.
Yeah.
Because had she just thrown all the shit at her, I thought that was hysterical. Because I looked at all the stuff, I'm like, I guess she's fast, but that might slow her down a little bit.
Yeah, I was also thinking that. Despite the fact I've read it before, I was like, why did she have all this shit?
Fucking chucks it at her.
Yeah, she also doesn't use the ring that she was like using before. She uses the kickboard.
Yeah, she would have been way faster with the ring.
Well, we don't know that.
Well,
she was fast with the ring, but she could also be fast with the kickboard.
But we know for a fact that she lost with the kickboard.
Well, she was carrying Ryuji and drowning.
Because of the kickboard.
You're right. If she kept the ring, Ryuji wouldn't have to get in to get her the kickboard.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying, it's all Taiga's fault.
Truly.
His Dora.
Yeah, they haven't really brought up the name.
I believe it means tiger and dragon.
Oh. That's cool.
I don't know that for sure. This one,
but I'm believing you. Yeah. I'm believing you, and I'm not looking it up.
I'm looking it up, and I won't tell you whether I'm right or not.
It like translates to the time I saw my mom's friend's tits. My mom's friend's tits? No, friend's mom's tits.
I'm so fucking mad. It's just a combination of their names.
Is it?
Yeah, but Taiga and Ryuji mean tiger and dragon. Why do I know this? I must have looked this up before.
Well, taiga is just tiger.
Oh, it's dragon and tiger. So the meaning of Toradora is Doragon. Like that's what like its direct translation is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a combination of the Japanese characters of dragon and tiger.
Mm. That's cool.
Yeah.
The more we know.
The less you know.
I do want to. So I was talking to Esau about this. I want to do like small TikToks about like manga that I'm reading or anime or whatever it may be. But I wanted to make fake manga panels where the characters are like saying the title of the book, like
time to use my Jujutsu Kaisen.
I guess that's just another Sakamoto day.
Wouldn't that bit completely be like, don't say names at me? And you were like, his name is on the cover. I was like, I thought that's just how they, counted days.
Yeah.
Like the amount of days. A Sakamoto day.
Yeah. I thought that was just you measure time. But yeah, and then it's just like, but some of them are just like, I can't do that because Naruto will say Naruto at some point.
Time to use my special move. Naruto, go.
Yeah.
Stuff like Pokemon, whatnot.
So those don't work.
You might call this a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
They look at the camera.
Me looking away from the camera.
I know. The camera's right there.
Yeah. And there. And there. Didn't even look at that one. It looked out to the window.
Yeah. To the walls.
And the sweat dripping down your balls.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to dry them. So Esau got here, right? Esau was like, hey, I'm going to be a few minutes late. And I'm rushing. I'm getting out of the shower. And so I text him. I was like, oh, you're good. I'm getting in the shower. And he's like, oh, I'm here. And I'm like, I'll be out in a sec. I'm drying my balls. It's taking a while. They're pretty big.
And I went, oh, of course. I understand. Need help? Need a hand?
And then I ignored it.
Yeah, then he ignored me. Then he opened the door.
Yeah. That's really all I have to say about this chapter or this volume.
Oh, that's a box around my face. Sorry. There's like a weird box around my face, but it looks like it's making me wear earrings. I was confused. Like right here on my camera.
Yeah. They won't see that, but
yeah,
we can.
I can.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was volume 4 of Sakamoto Days. Pick it up. There's also Toradora.
Yeah.
I haven't read volume 4 of Sakamoto Days. That's a lie.
If you like this episode, like the episode. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. When we hit 1,000 subs, we will do Naruto. And then, if you've done all that, go check out our links down below. We have my channel, our music video channel. We're going to post some cool stuff on there. And then other links that may be down there. I still have the Palestine important information documents that are on a Google Drive. And I have that in the description below as well. And yeah, share the episodes. We really appreciate the support, and we have fun doing this, and we want to keep doing it. So, yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.